Not a lot of guys do their first cycle properly. Most experts themselves, and I'm one of them, will admit they completely messed up their first cycle. The main reason is they failed to get... Good news, I've figured out the perfect first cycle for everyone. Are you ready? Yeah, okay, just let me grab a pen. Okay, a gram of test, a gram of EQ, and a gram of tren. Next stop, the hospital. So what should we start with?
The Uzi 9mm.
Once you pull the pin on that gain grenade and start that first cycle, you're looking at a seismic shift in results here, blasting through all your plateaus. You've got to combine the training and the diet and the recovery with the gear. Knowledge and precision is going to outshine the need for overwhelming force and dosages. A lot of guys email me their first cycle ideas, and I feel like I'm getting gyno just reading them. So to answer the question, what to start with, it's not an Uzi, it's something that's already in your body. Testosterone. 250 milligrams a week is definitely the way to go. Oh, is that it? Yes, because if you've locked in your supplementation, your training and your diet, beginning with 250 test is going to give you dramatic results. Let's say a low responder starts with 250 test a week. He doesn't do any blood work at the start of the cycle, and at the end of the cycle, he complains that his results were average. His problem was he didn't do blood work at the start. He would have sinned that he was a low responder and his test perhaps only went up to 1,000 or 1,500. In this case, a dosage of 300 to 400 may have been appropriate from the start. This is going to lead to way better gains throughout your cycle. You get a lot of people saying start on 500 test because it covers the low and the high responders. But it can lead to unneeded amounts of test because if you don't get the blood work, you're unclear on what category you fall under. Remember, if you start at 250, you don't have to stay there. Take 4 weeks at that dosage to see how your body responds. Check what's going on. Have you got hair loss, oily skin, or maybe some acne? Let's say you start the cycle with blood work and you see that your test is mid-range, around about 500, and you're a high responder. Adding that 250 of test is now going to have you read 2,500 of test in your body. That is 2.5 times the usual hormones that you're used to. So I'll say it again, start with 250 chicken a week before you add the broccoli. What about the brown rice? When does that come in? Then, when things are stable, bump up the test to 350. Fill that out. Then bump it up to 400, maximum 450. Also, the plan that you have must be flexible. If you've designed your entire cycle out and you start to get side effects, back off on the dosage. It's kind of like if you plan to go to the beach on the weekend, but you wake up and the weather's awful. You don't go down there and sit in the rain all day, do you? So it's important to have a plan, but have the attitude to change it on the fly if you need to. Adding a second compound in is another option for you instead of just upping the test. Hold fire on starting on 2 compounds. The reason is if you start with 250 test, that is going to increase your androgen receptors. Then when you add in a second compound, perhaps it's T-bol or Anavar, that new compound has a place to attach to. That's going to lead to better gains. But if you start on 500 test, 30 milligrams of Anavar, your body's not going to employ things very well. The main reason guys mess up their first cycle is not doing blood work. Let me explain. Blood work is going to give us a baseline, so we can see where our natural test levels fall before the cycle. So we're going to get a full blood panel at the start of our cycle. It's just not wise to start your cycle if your blood work's not looking good, because your body needs to be healthy to leverage the types of gear that you're going to be taking. If you're not healthy, you're not going to get the results you desire and you're likely to get more side effects than you bargained for. Also, blood work helps you to know where you're going to end up again after your cycle. After 4 weeks, it's recommended to get your blood work done again. I just got my blood work done today, but I didn't get the full panel. I only got what I specifically needed on how I felt. So I've just had those 6 things checked. You don't need to get the whole thing done because you need to see what's changing on your cycle from that dosage and then make the necessary adjustments to your diet or your supplements or even your training. If you feel like you're getting estrogen sides, don't run off to the pharmacy and bang down a load of Arimidex. Go and get a blood work done first to confirm those high estradiol levels. Then you can make an informed decision on what to do exactly. I quit playing guessing games a long time ago. Just go on Google, search in your area, blood work at home. I live in Dubai And I had a guy show up an hour and a half after I booked an appointment online. The guy comes to the door, 1 day later, you get your results. Now, a couple of days ago, there was a viewer of the channel who reached out and messaged me. He said he was getting cold sweats, body aches and tremors, and he was still symptomatic until Sunday evening. But then the new Dr. James YouTube video came out, and when he hit the like button, he instantly felt better. He booked in for a consultation with me and we did a full blood work analysis. It turned out he was just addicted to the content and he was having withdrawal symptoms. So if you're concerned that this might happen to you, the treatment is simple, it's easy. Like the video now. Your well-being depends on this. People often ask the question, should I start with an anti-estrogen right away? It really depends on your body fat and your estrogen levels before you start your cycle. I recommend you keep Nolvadex on hand from the start because it's best at blocking estrogen on your chest. And also, if you pinned every single day or every other day, it's going to decrease your need for an AI. When estrogen is elevated, it's your body's natural way at protecting your heart. Allow your body time to even things out. Estrogen doesn't just go up forever. It's self-regulating. Also, you've got to be switched on because gyno that's not related to estrogen levels is prolactin or potentially IGF-1, a low androgen environment, and your genetics. But the point is, everything depends on the dosage. If you start on crazy amounts of test, 700 milligrams a week, you might need an AI very quickly. But before you do, go and get your estrogen levels checked because it might not be. It could be your prolactin that's giving you those itchy nipples. And if you just blindly think it's E2 and you start doing the Arimidex, you're going to crash your estrogen levels, and that's worse. We've done the cycle, we've got all the gains, and you decided to come off the gear and go into post-cycle therapy. What do we do next? That is for next week's video, fellas. The reality is, if you get your first cycle right, you're going to be looking in the mirror every single day and just see your body transforming faster than ever with very little side effects. But the whole idea is to get yourself healthy first. How do you know if you're healthy? Get a blood test before you pick up that syringe and start loading it with Hulk juice. Remember, once someone hits their first cycle, they're going to respond less to the same future dosage. It's like 1 cup of coffee won't do it for you, so in 3 months' time, you find you're doing 5. Larger and larger amounts are going to be needed in following cycles to keep the gain train running. And you go too far down that road, it gets nasty. Now, if you are considering expert guidance and advice for your first cycle, give me a shout. In the description box below, I've got an application form. Send me an email and I'll get back to you. The next video is all about blood work. And I'm also going to add in that post-cycle therapy video so you can take your pick of the two. I'll see you in a few moments, brother. I'm out.